I'm Roger Howison. Great-great-grandfather came over here in 1909, took the tenancy on. Father came here 1968, and then my wife and I came back from Canada in 2011 to take over the farm. So it's 537 acres. It's a mixed farm. So we have livestock, sheep and cows grazing on the hill land and on the grazing fields, and then we've got 300 acres of arable. Also on the farm we've got some livery, so there's about 15 horses dotted about, and then we have the apple tree field. We wanted to plant lots of native broadleaf trees around the farm anyway, and we were looking at linking up all the pockets of trees that we have, so we have about 12 acres of forest dotted about. It was a big application and funding with the Woodland Trust, but we did it with the local distillery because they were wanting to plant fruit trees as well. So it's a silvo-arable system, or a type of agroforestry, or you can call it alley cropping. We've got 710 apple trees planted in 10 rows through a 16-acre field. The field is designed that we can still farm an arable crop in it and still have the apple trees. So the rows are about 24 metres apart. That way we can get the sprayer and the seed drill and the plough, and everything's supposed to go down there an efficient amount of time, so it's still economical. It was making the most of the land that we don't really think about. So many farmers are looking to get bigger machinery and get more land. And it was to make the gross margins bigger and have the machinery working more. And it was Stephen Briggs that said to me, a lot of farmers should just stand back and actually just look up and look down. So we've got all this airspace above the land, and then we have all this ground underneath. So the apple trees, although they're taking up 7% of that arable field, they're using all this airspace that the barley crop and the wheat crop, they're not using. And their roots are going down deeper than the cereal crops as well. So yeah, that was a motivator, because it was just using this unused space that we already had.
He's taken, for Scotland, what is quite an innovative step in incorporating apple trees into his arable rotation. So initially it was avenues of apple trees within a barley crop. Now, for many farmers that would seem like a crazy thing to do, to have lines of trees in the middle of a perfectly good field. But Roger went into that for environmental gain, but also from a productivity side to diversify into a new commercial crop, the apples, which have gone to make cider.
With the apple trees, that's all part of this massive wildlife corridor. So bringing these trees into the arable field, we knew we would be bringing more wildlife with it. So the roe deer and the little rodents, the shrews and the field mice. But it's also been really cool to see these happen, and although they're damaging the trees are resilient, but now we're seeing barn owls and kestrels in the field. And in my life on the farm, I'd never seen a barn owl, and that's what we were hoping to see, stuff like that. The apples were interesting. How we were going to do it was the challenge, and what way we could do this. So looking online, we came across this chap called Stephen Briggs. He had done his Nuffield scholarship on agroforestry, so he'd gone around the world and looked at all these different models, and so we started looking at that. We spent an afternoon with him and his family walking around his farm, and he was so nice and welcoming and great about it. I thought that's inspired me to be the same. I'm very happy and keen to show people this is how I've done it. It may not be the right way. Hopefully you can do it better and learn from the mistakes that I've made, or maybe this is the right way to do it, and if you copy it, fantastic.